Alexandre Pantoja, he gets Steve Erceg. And some people might be saying the layup of the century right here for Alexandre Pantoja, but I would beg to differ. This is not just any number 10 ranked contender right here. But what's more important, folks, your rule of thumb, all of the odds that you see, not from the props, but from the money line, these are opening lines. We're going to talk to you about the close right here. Not the close, but current line right here. AJ, how do you feel that Alexandre Pantoja opened up as minus 250, plus 205 comeback for Steve Erceg? He is now down to minus 190, plus 160 for Steve Erceg. Number 10 ranked contender, Pantoja has been smashing pretty much every former champion and reasonable contender in his path. What makes Steve Erceg so enticing to the odds makers?
Man, I like these numbers personally, Derek. These minus 250 plus 205 make a lot of sense, especially opening up. But seeing how that money line has shifted, man, I think the odds makers right here might have a little bit of favoritism for the new hot shiny toy. And don't get me wrong, I think Erceg has all the respect he's gotten. Right, this dude can perform. I do see where they're coming from. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Steve Erceg is completely out of the fight. But to me, minus 200 or right around there sounds a little bit more like what we should be expecting.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely fair. But Steve Erceg is a little bit of an interesting character, right? Super credentialed, high-level striker, jiu-jitsu black belt, pace he can put on for 5 rounds. These are 125ers, you know what I mean? So it's not a lot of 125ers who are getting gassed out towards the end of the fight. But there's one thing that we have not seen any contender be able to do, and that's stop the brute force and physicality of Alexandre Pantoja. The one X factor, the one intangible, maybe not intangible, but the one factor that seems to just, like, you can't calculate it on paper. I personally feel like Steve Erceg, what makes this so much different than Brandon Royval? You know what I mean? Like, solid striker, sick jiu-jitsu. What makes this matchup so much different? And I think the one major thing that will make it different is I think Steve Erceg is one of the more technical fighters in the flyweight division, which is a difficult thing to say given that at 125, you have to be technical. So where does that technical striking come in to mitigate the just brute force of Alexandre Pantoja?
I think it comes in where both of those X factors, we're going to call them, collide, has to be with the range that Steve Erceg is able to control. Like the height and the length that he fights at. A lot of these 125ers, they like to get compact and burst in, very explosive, very athletic. Steve Erceg has this little bit of a longer, taller kind of striking style. And if he can utilize that range and mitigate that brute force that you're talking about, because yeah, Pantoja is scrappy, man. This dude is going to come and try to hurt you consistently. But Steve Erceg, man, he has a very slick 1-2 combo going for him. If he can maintain that length, throw shots down the pipe, things could work for him. The question or the worry that I have, Derek, Steve Erceg likes to put himself in danger to capitalize on those situations. He's hittable. Can Pantoja work with that? I mean, we've seen him do it before.
Steve Erceg is super hittable, but you know who else is super hittable? It's Pantoja himself, bro. But the thing is, Pantoja's a tank, and he walks through them. But that's what interests me. It's funny, because that was actually going to be my next question. What do you make of the plus 250 TKO prop for Steve Erceg? In my opinion, what this is, Alexandre Pantoja, brute force, takes him down, controls him for a couple of rounds. We start hitting late round 2, round 3, round 4. And when Pantoja is just trying to walk through you, Erceg is sharp, man, sharp with the strike. So just one right hand down the pipe, I could see him being a timing situation that drops Pantoja, and now we have a TKO option on our play. I don't see a ground and pound TKO here from Steve Erceg. That's not really in the cards for me, but do you like that first situation that I just laid out?
Oh, absolutely, Derek. I mean, it's a little reminiscent of Steve Erceg's last fight with Matt Schnell, right? Pressure's coming in. You hit him with a 1-2 combo and then throw with the left hook that he hasn't seen all fight. Something that catches him not seeing. You end up sleeping him. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we have seen it. And Alexandre Pantoja likes to fight that same style of fight.
Yeah, man. And if you look at the numbers right here, there is one other thing that is a little bit concerning. If you're looking at flyweight fighters, AJ, 34 years old. Uh-oh, that magic number is creeping up for Pantoja. We say 35 and older. I think 34 might be lumped in. Your record in title fights at like 170 pounds down is like horrendous. But I don't know, man. I feel like Pantoja's a guy where, in my opinion, this is what I'll say. From personal experience, I've been burned so many times betting against Pantoja. It's one of those I need to watch you lose to truly be convinced that you are a beatable fighter, because it's been so long. His last loss was Askar Askarov back in 2020. Before that, Davison Figueiredo. You beaten the likes of Matt Schnell. Oh, who knows? Who knew? And he got a TKO victory too, round 1. So he one-upped Steve Erceg right there. Manel Kape decision. Brandon Royval submission. Alex Perez submission. Brandon Moreno decision, and then Brandon Royval decision. I just think that the run is incredible. I think he adds another to the hit list right here, and I think he gets it done by the same method that he took against Brandon Royval and Brandon Moreno, man. Try not to get in the firefight, but if you do, fight like a thug that you are, bro. Stand, trade, bang, be the tank. But more important, you win the rounds by stealing them with control and takedowns, which sucks, which is sad to say because you want to see a banger. But is that not the tried and true path to victory for Alexandre Pantoja?
Absolutely, Derek. Tried and true right there. I'm actually surprised it's not the decision for Alexandre Pantoja isn't smaller or a better odd than the submission right there. That's what I see happening. That control, the passion, everything you're talking about seems to fall in line. The question is those counter strikes of Erceg, and can he mitigate that control with his jiu-jitsu and being able to stand up? We'll see. I'm excited for this fight right here, man.
Here's the big play, because we got to give a couple plays to then move on. Over and under. Over is 3.5 rounds, minus 130 for the over. Is that not juice? Are we not smashing that? What do you think?
All day long, absolutely. Right when you said the number, Derek, I nodded instantly. Juice all day long.
That's it. I like the over right here. I think I don't know if Steve Erceg is going to be able to have that hot start to match Pantoja, but if Pantoja starts fading, that's where Steve Erceg gets more dangerous the later the fight goes. More important, if you are a betting man, which obviously we are, welcome to the platform, right? Since you are a betting man, the Alexandre Pantoja is the pick. On the Alexandre Pantoja side, what is the play for the prop available here?
Me, I like that decision, Derek, and at plus 285, that's good money.
And if you're Steve Erceg, what about this decision? Plus 550.
550. I mean, it's not out of the question, especially if Alexandre Pantoja does get a little tired. He's able to wear him down. You're making juice right there if you're a Steve Erceg better.
Yeah, give me Alexandre Pantoja. Give me the plus 285 decision as well. I really, really like that. But if you are a little scared, a little hesitant, you can always go Alexandre Pantoja at just pure minus 190. I mean, I'm not sure you're getting that price tag again here soon. Very fair price to pay. All right, folks, that is your championship bout for UFC 301.